Hey, what's up guys? Talon back with a new video. I am jumping in. We're playing a little Halo Infinite multiplayer. This guy's coming right up to me right now. He thought I was AFK, and I was AFK. We're playing a little Halo Infinite multiplayer, and I'm playing this on an LG 27GR95UM monitor. It's a new monitor, just came out from LG. I'm recording this just with an iPhone, so it's going to be difficult to capture what the monitor actually looks like, as far as, you know, not capturing glare and stuff on the screen, because I am playing this in my room in some daylight. So what you're seeing is not exactly what I'm seeing. You know, what I'm seeing is zero glare and anything like that, and the colors just look phenomenal with, you know, no bleed or anything like that. But what you're seeing is you're seeing a little daylight glare, so you can kind of see, you can see my hand moving across there on the screen. You're picking up that glare right there in the corner. So any sort of glare or any sort of reflection off the screen is not there. It kind of looks hazy in the video, but it's not actually there in real life. So it is very difficult to capture that. Again, you can still see the glare across the screen right there, which that glare right there, none of that's there in real life, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm recording this just with an iPhone with a cheap little stand here. I'm recording at 4K 60 FPS for you guys. God, that is so bright, unbelievably bright. So this monitor is a new 4K 160 hertz mini LED monitor from LG. It's got 1560 dimming zones. It's a fast IPS 1 millisecond monitor, and it is HDR1000 certified. It's a 27-inch flat screen, so it's not curved. And it's, so because it's 27 inches and at 4K, it's just got that ridiculously high pixels per inch. So you get just super amazing text clarity. And let's try out the sniper. I don't know. Try it out. I don't ever play Halo Infinite, like literally never play it. I just thought I'd check it out because it has a pretty good, again, look at how bright that is, just incredible. It's hard to capture, see it. For me, I have individual lights up there, but for you guys, you just see a bright white area. Because again, you know, it's an iPhone, it's trying to capture, but the HDR in this just looks absolutely stunning. It obviously, because it has 1560 dimming zones, the HDR of the screen is just absolutely very stunning. Now, it has some issues for like HDR video playback, because it right now it's, wow, that was really a decent shot from me. I hit that one guy, but there were two of them. So what I'm saying is, when you're playing it like a YouTube video or something similar, right now it seems like the firmware, because this is launch firmware, the monitor just came out. If you actually go on the website, there's not even software drivers, and LG historically produces firmware updates for the monitors. Typically through their on-screen display software will pop up and you'll have a firmware update. I've had numerous ones for my LG 27GR95UM, which is a 4K 160 non-mini LED, and it's got like 6 local dimming zones, right? So it's HDR 600, but that's, you know, basically HDR that you turn on and you immediately turn off because it's so bad because of the lack of dimming zones, right? With this, it's absolutely stunning and incredible to look at, and it's because it's mini LED. It's extremely bright. Like, you get a real HDR experience. You have blacks and dimming zones, and you have that incredible color volume, and then you have, on top of it, you've got a lot of brightness. I ended up getting the guy, I think, anyway, because it's so incredibly bright with those mini LEDs. So yeah, it's an incredible monitor. I'm enjoying it. I picked it up for $7.99. They have the original, I think the MSRP was supposed to be $12.99, but I think what happened is LG was kind of late to the game with their monitor, and now with so many OLEDs coming out and people jumping on the OLED train, I think they wanted it to remain competitive, and I think that's really a really good idea. I mean, I don't think at $12.99 I would pay, there's no way I would pick this up. Maybe a year ago, $12.99, but today, no. At $7.99, it's an absolute no-brainer. If you're looking for a 4K screen, you don't want an OLED, you know, because that comes with its own lack of brightness in HDR. Text fringing issues are still an issue, and there's no 27-inch flat screen OLED yet for whatever reason. They have a 32. They have a few 32s coming out, but if you want to stick with 27 inches, You have no options right now. I think Asus is going to be, or maybe LG is going to be releasing a WOLED, not a QD OLED, and those do get brighter. So I'm in 27 inches. I'm very interested in that. I'll probably check that out as well and test that out. And I'm replacing for now my Innocent with this, and I love it. It's a great monitor. The Innocent's a fantastic monitor as well. If you guys are checking that out, you can pick that up right now on Amazon, I believe, for $5.99, and it has an incredible HDR experience as well. The problem with that one is it's a bit quirky, and a lot of people have noted that and noticed the issues with the Innocent. Its biggest issues are when you go in and out of HDR, so you wake it from sleep. I've noticed that a lot of times it has issues waking from sleep in HDR. Not that it won't wake, it's that it like remains dim. So you have to turn the HDR off, turn the HDR back on, and that usually fixes it. This monitor does, I'm listening to the internal speakers. It's got two 7-watt internal speakers, so actually really pretty decent speakers for a monitor. Actually, I've been using them. I'm blown away how good they are. Usually you get like 2-watt speakers. This has two 7-watt speakers, and then I'm using Dolby Access or Atmos, one of the two, to enhance the sound quality. I think it comes with something else like Waves Audio or something like that, but I'm just using the Dolby because I've got that paid for through the Microsoft Store, and that increases the audio quality even further to the point where it's actually really, really nice. So let's go into a new map here. I really like the HDR in this game. I've never really messed around with Halo Infinite. And I've tested out Battlefield 2042, Call of Duty Warzone, and the new Call of Duty as well, Modern Warfare 2 or whatever it's called, or 3. I'm not really sure. And then this as well, and it's Cyberpunk. All of them phenomenal HDR experience. So in real life, there is a small, very, very small amount of halo around, and that's going to happen with, and you're going to get a little bit here as well, probably. That's on the camera, it's exaggerated. It doesn't look like that in real life, but you do get a small amount, and that's just, that's going to come with, let's do matchmaking. That's going to come with, obviously, on a black background with mini LED and the dimming zones. It's doing the best it can. The Innocent handled blooming better, so there is an issue, I believe, with the LG right now as far as bloom. It's worse than it should be. The other reason it's a little bit worse than it should be is that when you go into the OSD here, there's just so many things I've learned about this monitor, guys, in the last couple days. Right now, what you're seeing, this isn't even the brightest this monitor gets in HDR. If you come down to FPS mode or vivid, it gets stupid bright, like to the point at night when you're playing in HDR, it's so bright that it begins to hurt your eyes. I turn it back, and this is the only mode that's apparently BESA certified HDR. You can, like I said, put it into FPS mode or the Vivid, and Vivid kind of blows out it basically, if you like a really, really saturated color spectrum, that's what you get, right? It oversaturates, less accurate, but some people enjoy that for gaming, so it's a great way to get that. So it's cool to see that you can do this. You can change a lot of things in HDR, unlike the Innocent. And then you have FPS. Both Vivid and FPS are very, very bright, and I will show that to you guys. The other things you can change here is they have black stabilizer. So by default in HDR, that's set to 50, which is too high, and that actually causes blooming because what it's doing is it's attempting to brighten up dark black areas where enemies can be. Again, a lot of this stuff you're seeing on screen here, guys, is just shadows. I'm trying to block out the natural ambient light in the house. But it enhances these dark areas so you can see enemies hiding in the shadows. And I'll show that to you really quickly here. You can kind of see, come down to black stabilizer. We can punch that up and see how that brightens that up. But really, this should be lower, right? If you want a real, if you want those blacks like it's creating. But now you can see like how much harder that is to spot enemies. But now you have real blacks without that extra bloom. But it's cool to see that they included that. A lot of monitors don't allow you to do that. And I found about 40 or so is not terrible. And I don't want to be totally disadvantaged in a game. Obviously, you have your response time. Fast works perfect. Faster even works great on this monitor as well. Small amount of overshoot, but I haven't found it to be to the point where you immediately want to turn it off. I think you could use it. I've also found that the entire refresh window, which is probably 44 or 48 to 160 hertz, works beautifully, like a single tuned overdrive mode, no issues. It's absolutely flawless. And I, tested that by increasing the resolution, scaling up to 8K in certain games, and just getting the FPS really low, and still beautiful, no stutters, no flickering, no flashing, just awesome gaming experience. Yeah, this monitor is really, really nice. I really, really like this monitor a lot. I also really like my Innocent, but that is going to my brother now, and he's going to get a fantastic mini LED monitor. Again, that is a great monitor for $599, but it doesn't come without its own quirks. The other problem with that monitor is that you can't use SDR local dimming outside of maybe watching a movie, and without it causing just horrible issues. This monitor, the local dimming on this in SDR is like godlike. It's perfect. No changes to the color spectrum, increased contrast, and beautiful inky blacks. So you can use local dimming on this monitor all day long in SDR, and it looks phenomenal. It is a fantastic monitor. All right, so I'm screwing around here. I'm not helping my team, so they probably hate me right now. All right, so we messed around with that. The other thing I want to show you guys, some more settings here in the menu. You can mess with the brightness in HDR mode. You can mess with its peak brightness, so off, low, and high. I believe that's probably just its peak highs that you'll see. It's got sharpness out of the box of 70. I didn't like it. It actually ruins text on the desktop. 60 I found beautiful, perfect. Even 50. And then local dimming you can change to off, which I know no idea why you would do that. Normal, fast, and faster. Leave it on faster, and it works perfect. And then again, of course, it has things for some RGB backlighting on the back of it, waves audio, all kinds of little menu options here that are kind of standard. Really easy to navigate. It does have a crosshair if you're into that, and FPS counter as well. So I'm going to show you guys. We'll go to FPS here. See how much brighter that just got immediately? So now we're gonna test out FPS. Now when you do that, it may change your some of your game mode black stabilizer. So you can see that went down to 10. So we're gonna bring that back up to about 40. And it will keep whatever you've selected. I mean, just look at how insanely bright that is now. So playing like this at night, for me, it's just too bright. If you're in a black room, yeah, it's not the way I would choose to play. I didn't see that guy behind. Well, clearly I didn't see him behind me. It's super, super bright. This map isn't really good for displaying the HDR capabilities. So why don't we leave this match? I don't know if that's gonna hurt my I don't know, do you get like a rank? You guys can see just how stupid bright that is. Let's see, let's go back. We'll do multiplayer. And I just want a quick play. How do I just do a quick play? Is there, just like, oh, there it was. It literally was right in front of my face. All right, let's try that again. Just how bright that is. I mean, it really shows, even on the camera, I can see just how incredibly bright this monitor gets. And then you're going to see when I go back now, and now my eyes are going to adjust to this super brightness, and you go back and you're like, oh wow, this is too dim. But really I think this is too bright, and most people want a super bright monitor, but I find that this is a little on the edge, especially at night where it's not really that great for your eyes. Kind of can eventually cause fatigue, in my opinion, as far as just how silly bright the monitor can actually get. So I wanted to show that to you guys. I'm going to show you the desktop as well really quickly. If I can after this. I'll test some other games. Leave some comments below if you want to see some other games. Like Battlefield 2042 is one of my main games. I never played this game. I just on a whim installed it and thought I would check out how the HDR looks in the game. And you guys can see, I mean, no flickering, no issues at all with HDR. Now it has DisplayPort 1.4a with DSC, which is what I'm using now. It also has two HDMI 2.1 ports. They are full 48 gigabit per second. I've tested them. You can use G-Sync, VRR, HDR, 4K 160 at 12-bit. It is a 12-bit monitor, which is also really interesting to see. This thing does 12-bit. Compared to the Innocent, the color volume in HDR on this monitor is absolutely phenomenal. It is better than the Innocent. The Innocent had better tuned overdrive, but again, I'm hoping that they do fix the the overdrive on this monitor eventually, or the overdrive, the blooming issue. I'm sure they will, because it works in SDR without blooming, so it just seems to be an issue with something they're going to have to obviously fix, probably via a firmware update eventually. Let's hope they do. Even if they don't, if you're just gaming on this thing, you're not going to have any issues. Where'd that guy go? I need those. As far as motion picture clarity and response time, this monitor is hella fast. I've had zero issues with motion clarity or response time or anything like that. I think I'm out of ammo. I am. Do I not have a pistol? I do. How do I get more ammo? Your team scored. There we go. Alright, cool. I picked up more ammo. This guy over here. Yeah, just an incredible looking monitor. Absolutely incredible. Active camo inbound. Active camo available. Kind of wish I could show you guys without this like halo-y glare that you get on the screen. But it is just insanely bright. Very responsive monitor. I mean, it's so nice that, you know, one of the things I really disliked about the Innocent, and it really bugged me, was the lack of being able to use the monitor at 4K 160 hertz. It would limit you on G-Sync to 144. But if you had an AMD card, the FreeSync would work all the way to 160. So clearly, I mean, it's not an NVIDIA limitation. We have 4K 240 hertz monitors using DisplayPort 1.4 with HDR and VRR. It was an issue with their firmware, and I reached out to them numerous times to see if they ever provided an update, and it was just, you know, basically get lost is basically what I was told. That they had no firmware updates coming, nothing planned. And they actually went as far as to tell me as it was an NVIDIA issue, and that, you know, a limitation of NVIDIA, which clearly is not the case here. It's an NVIDIA, it's an innocent limitation, that they don't want to fix it. Yeah, just absolutely super clear monitor. Show you guys the, let's go to the next response time. What do y'all think? I'm going to show you guys, let's see if we see any overshoot. I haven't really messed with it too much other than just briefly. So this is supposed to be the fastest response time, the one that they kind of label it at a 1 millisecond response time. Yeah, I can see some overshoot almost immediately, but man, that is quick. Not bad. Not at all bad. Like, I could see people wanting to game like this, no problemo. Man, that is quick. Where it gets it to, I mean, you can just tell it doesn't look bad at all. There's very little overshoot, but my God, is the monitor quick now. Little bit of overshoot, but definitely a serviceable, you know, mode, to the point where it's not like, you know, you're not looking at it like, oh, this is just terrible, I can't look at this. Now it's really usable. This is a quick monitor.
The enemy has captured Charlie. Enemy team scored.
Now I don't want to go back, just how quick this is. So you can kind of see that, you can kind of see it, but not bad at all. Definitely not to the point where I would say turn it off immediately, because I've had some monitors that are just absolutely terrible. This one isn't all that bad. It's definitely a quick monitor. What happened to that grenade? Did it just disappear? Can you not grenade into zone?
Let's see them try to take it from us. Stronghold Charlie lost.
So bright. All right, guys. So let's go back now, because I don't want to get used to this mode. I'm not going to use this personally. I'm like that person that, like, even though a mode exists, I won't use it because I don't want to become, like, I guess, reliant on it and like have to have it. I don't know. I know that might sound weird to a lot of people, but it's like I don't want to train my eyes to something I probably won't use. All right, so it kept 40. And this is perfectly bright enough for me, right? This is like very, very bright as it is. The other, I can already feel the relief on my eyes. The other mode is just so unbelievably bright that it sort of burns your eyes. I don't, you know, I know that some people want a hella bright monitor, but there is a limit, I feel like, to the point where I don't want to go any brighter. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, man, I didn't realize that river was that strong. All right, guys, I'm going to show you real briefly. Let's hop out of the game. I know that's kind of the way. Did you see how it auto-adjusted that right there? It just didn't. Wow, that looks so bad. It doesn't look like that in real life, and I'll see if I can adjust to show you that. See how much darker that looks? And you come out and, like, look at that. Kind of, that's what it looks like. You know, like just normal. But of course, you know, you can see the dark inky blacks there on stuff. Of course, when you come out, I don't know, it's like trying to record this with a cell phone. See how it immediately adjusts those colors? Now it's picking up the natural color. Again, that's how the game looked as well. Just trying to show you guys this stuff is kind of, it's kind of difficult. You know, what you see in real life is just, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it justice, unfortunately. The camera doesn't. You know, like these colors up here, they sort of are looking like extremely washed out, but you know, it obviously doesn't look like that at all. And you can kind of see that now as you zoom in. It doesn't look like that. So keep that in mind when you're watching the video. You know, that it does not look washed out like that. There's just nothing I can adjust, in my opinion, other than maybe bringing this camera closer. But then I run into the issue of you can't really get it, you know, on screen. That seems to be about the best I'm going to be able to do. All right. So I wanted to show you that. And then the other thing, see if I can, what I kind of want to look at. Let me show you guys what SDR looks like. So I'll show you that you can use the local dimming. So we're going to take it out of HDR mode here. Okay, so now we're in SDR mode. Much easier for the camera to record that. That's for sure. And let's do this. I do need to do something really quickly. Don't judge me on the coffee and the Coke there. I normally don't drink Coke or anything like that. It's just was one of those mornings. Let's see. So I'm going to show you guys a video here. I don't want that there. Okay. So, okay. So I'll see if this records. I'm not sure if this is going to capture very well, but we'll do our best with trying to record this. All this freaking glare, I can't get around it. And there is a little bit of glare in real life. It doesn't really look like that. There's just not much I can do about it, unfortunately. All right, so right now we are going to play 4K with no HDR. And we're going to play this video. So you guys can see, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. You see that bloom right there? That's some of that local dimming bloom that I'm talking about that they're going to have to fix. And I'm hoping that they can. It looks incredible though. I mean, the color volume, everything is just phenomenal. Now I am using local dimming right now. And then this isn't the stand that comes with it. I'm just using, this is just my kind of go-to Amazon basic stand. But yeah, in real life, what I'm seeing are just, you know, very inky blacks surrounding that stuff, the way it's supposed to look, right? So this is just SDR mode, and it looks, you know, perfect the way it's supposed to. Again, it's hard, like I'm saying, to capture that, but that's all black all around it with no issue. Kind of doing my best to show this to you guys. So in regular SDR mode, you can use the local dimming, unlike with the Innocent that would cause all kinds of weird issues. With this monitor, you can put it into local dimming mode, and it looks fantastic. Just like really, really beautiful. Again, this is not as bright as the monitor goes. I'm only at 55% brightness right now, which is the default out-of-box setting. And it's insanely bright, just the way it is right now. Probably at night, probably too bright. You saw the little bit of bloom there as it's coming in. So I'm saying there's like this weird delay behind on some of the images when it goes into its local dimming feature. Again, that's all pure black all around that. There's no glow, there's no haloing. Now, here you can see, now it doesn't look like that in real life. There is some blooming here. Nothing like that, right? The camera just really exaggerates and makes things a lot worse than they actually are. We can play one more video here. Again, we're only at 55% brightness using local dimming, and this is all pure black the way it's supposed to. It looks exactly like my LG OLED TVs. The difference being that this has, it's more vibrant. Well, maybe not more vibrant, but more, it's brighter, right? It's punchier. The OLED looks really good, but it doesn't get as bright as this does. And this is only 55% brightness, which is crazy. And then obviously with this being an LCD based display, you're gonna get, you know, that perfect text with zero issues. Now we are, like I said, I'm gonna show you guys the local dimming here. I'm gonna show you what it looks like with local dimming off now. So you can see brightness there at 55. So it should be picture adjust, local dimming. So you can see what it looks like right now. You can see there's no differences in the text or the image there. Now I'm gonna go to local dimming off here. See how it didn't change the way that looks? Whoops, local dimming. Let's go back to faster. Doesn't change, I just went to faster. You guys can see this here. Oop. Okay, off. It's the exact same. Doesn't change it. So the local dimming on this monitor works 24/7. You can use it, and what you're going to get is just a better looking black image. You guys can see again, we'll go up to faster. Now we should see more black here. Didn't actually do it there, but I'm going to show you in a video. So part of the reason you really don't see it here is that this is using a newer IPS treatment that actually increases the way that blacks look and helps it not have that weird graying and haloing that you normally get on a lot of IPS displays. This monitor, like a lot of IPS displays, as soon as you're kind of like, it's not like a TN, but I guess what I'm saying is with mini LED displays, with the Innocent specifically, you would get this like, as soon as you were just slightly not perfectly centered, you could get this kind of hazing effect at the corners. And I guess that had to do with mini LED. They've done something to this monitor. It doesn't do it. Zero hazing, nothing, nada. Perfect image. No matter how I'm moving around or how I'm shifting, it's not hazing in any way. It's some sort of treatment. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was called, but they did something to it. The other point to that is that you don't get IPS glow. There is no IPS glow in this monitor whatsoever. Nada, nothing. It doesn't glow. So it's some sort of treatment they've done to the screen that reduces or removes IPS glow, and then also fixes that issue with the mini LED. So they've done something that's really significant there to fix that. So I want to show you guys what I was talking about here with the local dimming. And you'll see it on a black screen. It'll be very apparent. So this is local dimming still on at its highest preset. This video is running a little long. So let's go back in. We're gonna go to that local dimming. So right now we're getting blacks and things that really make the screen look nice, right? Okay, so we're gonna freeze it right there. So right now, you know, you have black and black and black, and there's a lot of stuff on the screen that's gonna mess with that, but you have the image the way it's supposed to look in real life right now. This is black. Again, you're getting haze and glow into the room from the reflection because it's, you know, this would be even worse if it were a mirrored screen, you know, a glossy screen. But we'll go ahead and we're gonna turn off the local dimming. So I'm gonna back it up actually just to get rid of that. Okay. Now let's go to local dimming. Of course. Let's try that again. I'm gonna have to give myself a little bit more time because I really want that YouTube bar to go away. Okay, so that should work. All right, so there it is. Local dimming off. And you immediately see that getting glowing and it's not actually black. Now, if you go back, local dimming on, that just became black. That became black. This is a really good one to see it actually. You can see the screen, local dimming off, you see that immediately. It's just so apparent, so quick, black. That is the huge benefit to this screen, is that local dimming is 100% usable at all times, and you don't have to choose anymore, like, or fiddle around with the menu to decide, do I want to use local dimming or not? You can just use local dimming and it causes absolutely no issues with your screen. Come in here. Right now, local dimming is on. A lot of times with screens, you would get this like a really bad haloing glowing effect as you'd move the mouse around on a dark screen, or you'd get weird issues with text. None of that exists with this monitor. So you can see here, we'll zoom in. Now the camera may pick up more bloom. I mean, there is if I zoom way in with my eyes and I look to see if there's a blooming effect around the camera or the mouse, I think that you can kind of see a tiny amount, but with the amount of dimming zones, yeah, it's basically, it's not there. There's no, and it doesn't, you guys can see again, it doesn't mess with your text. It doesn't mess with anything. It just looks, it looks like a ridiculously beautiful IPS display with super high text clarity. So yeah, this is a pretty fantastic monitor. I really like it. If it will be perfect, absolutely perfect, if they fix that blooming issue. Like it's like the monitor is trying to catch up with the local dimming. The algorithm is trying to catch up. If they fix that, which I do believe they will, again, if you go on the website for the monitor, it's $7.99 right now. Last night they had 9% cash back, so that's basically almost 10% off of that monitor in cash back, plus any maybe credit card rewards you have. Would have really helped. This morning I think it's down to 3%, but 9% last night on $7.99 was actually pretty phenomenal. So yeah, that's about it. This video has been 35 minutes long now. I just wanted to show you guys some video of it playing a game, and then kind of talking about the local dimming and showing some of the features of the screen and some things I've found. This is a keeper for me for right now. This is going to be my go-to monitor for the foreseeable future. The only thing I'm interested in is an LG 4K 27-inch OLED that's supposed to be coming out, and I thought it was 240 and 480 hertz. So they're basically, it's going to use upscaling to allow you to run it at 1080p 480 hertz. That could be really interesting to check out. My only concern again with that is the brightness and text fringing. If they fix those issues and they can get the brightness up, I'll be really interested in it. If they don't get the brightness up, because I do want it to be a certain level of brightness, right? Like you're paying for an HDR experience. So if they can get that increased and there's no text fringing, which may not be an issue at 27 inches with the pixels per inch, then I probably will pick that up at least and consider that buying that as well. But the other winner here, guys, 0 dead pixels, and the display's uniformity is like perfect. 0 issues there as well. Just a really, really good screen. That's kind of the issue with the Innocent as well. You're rolling, a lot of people have gotten dead pixels, and I don't know if they're buying secondhand or subpar panels to get that. My second one I got, I thought I had 0. I actually found 1 eventually. But who cares? 1 dead pixel. This is an LG GN27 or 27GR95UM over here, which is the original 4K 144 160 hertz monitor IPS screen that I've got to the left here that's turned off. It has a dead pixel, so it happens. But I scanned this monitor, I found none, and I'm actually at the point with 4K screens that I don't even want to look anymore, because unless there's a glaring issue, it's such a insignificance at 4K that you can't see it, right? Especially unless you're sitting there on like an all-white screen and you're staring at the screen up close to find those dead pixels. Who cares? It was a big deal at 1080p days, 1440p days, but at 4K on this size screen, the pixels are so small, it's such an insignificant thing that who cares? So that's it. That's all I've got. That's my rant. That's my 2 cents on this screen. If you guys want to see other gameplay, I definitely will check it out for you. But right now, this monitor for me, it's like an 8 out of 10. If they can fix the blooming, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. I don't even know if I could ever give a monitor a 10 out of 10, but this is a great screen. If you're looking for an IPS 4K 144 hertz screen, 160 hertz screen rather, it's running at 160 hertz right now, obviously, because it has an OC mode. I don't even know why they sell these things as 144. Just make it 160, call it a day. But that is what they do. And again, the 160 works on both HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort. It's been tested, G-Sync, VRR, FreeSync, HDR1000 with 12-bit. All of it works on HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort. 0 issues. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this is not a technical review. This is more of a thoughts and opinions and showing things to you, things I've discovered using the monitor. I hope that it was useful to some of you out there who are looking at this monitor. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.